Just checking how you're settling in.
I'm good. Thanks. Interesting place you found yourself here. I'll give you that.
Back in the cave, you told me that you fought that demon in order to gain control over it. I'd still like to know how that works.
It's complicated.
That's it?
For now.
How did you end up in Barca-Gore?
It's a long story. Suffice to say, I've been on the road for quite some time now. And Barca-Gore just happened to be my last spot before I ran into you. Let's talk about you instead. You gathered a ton of followers, one outcast after another. Tell me, Tahar, do you trust them?
Of course I do.
Huh. To be honest, I don't understand how you can do it. You have that look about you, and it's driving me nuts.
What do you mean by that?
I've observed you on the way back from Barca-Gore. The way you move, the way you talk. I get why other people follow your lead. I really do. You simply have some kind of strange charisma. It's not visible at first glance, but it's there. You give people hope. I guess that's what it boils down to. You attract outsiders, and you get them to march under your banner.
How is that a bad thing?
It's a bad thing because you're too careless. All these people, did it ever occur to you that they're outsiders for a reason? The treacherous orc, the renegade elf, the exiled dwarf? Still, you trust them. Even if you put your stern face on, I can see that you do. That's why people follow you. But trust doesn't protect from betrayal. But let's stop this right here, okay? I'm sure you have things to do, and so do I.
Let me see.
Huh?
So, have we gotten past that I don't trust you thing? I want to know more about you.
Well, there isn't that much to know about me, Tahar. I'm a demonologist from Kalea, and I've been on the road for a couple of years now. That's it.
Wait, you're Kalayan?
Yeah, and I know I don't have the accent, but that was a lot of training.
What made you come to Northander?
And I don't want to talk about it. Anything else, Tahar? If not, let me get back to my grimoire.
Can you tell me more about Kalea? What's it like there?
It's a pretty general question, Corporal.
There's been a lot of tension between Northander and Kalea during the Mage War. How is the situation now?
I haven't been back since, so I couldn't tell you. But according to the sailors, things have gotten better.
Do you happen to know if Kalea is affected by the Bloodburn too?
Don't think so, no. At least I haven't heard anything.
Kalea is a city-state, isn't it? Like Everlight.
Yeah. Well, almost. When people say Kalea, they usually refer to the chain of islands in the Sea of Dreams, a couple of miles from Imperia. However, only the big one in the middle is really inhabited. And that one's pretty much just a massive city called Kalea. Nobody can remember the names of the other islands, not even the Kaleans themselves. But yeah, it's essentially a city-state. And even though Kalea is small, it's very powerful. You know, spices, sugar, sea jewels, all the kind of stuff a tropical paradise has to offer.
Rich as a Kalayan, isn't that how they say?
Yeah, though that ignores the fact that there's thousands of Kalayans starving to death in the slums.
What are Kalayans like, compared to Northandians?
Huh, good question. I don't spend that much time socializing, so I don't know if I can give you the answer to that. But all in all, Kalayans are a lot less stiff than you Nord folks. Kalayans like to sing, to dance, and to fuck. They do it a lot, sometimes at the same time. They admire philosophy and magic, and being good in either of those makes you the equivalent of a famous bard here in Greyfell. On the other hand, the people are two-faced. That's a lot better here in Northander. You have your little intrigues, but you generally say what you mean, which Kalayans see as almost primitive.
Never mind. I'll be going.
Sounds like a plan.
An old Nortandian fairy tale about an orc falling in love with a human? Oh, that sounds like a good read. There was once a shepherd's daughter named Primora who lived on a small farm. While tending to the flock, she would often sit by the river and sing. One day, an orc named Vrok was scouting the nearby lands as a potential raid for his clan. When he heard Primora singing, he was struck by the beauty of her voice. Enthralled, he approached Primora, but she fled to the side of him. Vrok returned to his cow devastated. He begged Zarak to turn him into a human. To his surprise, Zarak answered his prayers. He was granted a transformation for a fortnight, but if she could not learn to love his true self, disaster would befall him. The next day, Vrok returned to the river. He emerged from the bushes as a tall, handsome human. From that moment, the two spent every day together. Vrok's love for Primora grew until he knew she would love him, no matter what form he was in. When the fortnight was over, Vrok decided to reveal his true self to her. He went to the river at their usual time, but approached in his orc form. Primora was horrified and cursed his name. As he pleaded with her to love him, she pushed him into the river and fled. Vrok ran to her home, hoping to intercept her. Instead, he found his clan in the farmhouse burned to the ground. They had learned of his disguise and followed him. Primora was nowhere to be found. What? And his clan exiled him for his disloyalty. As he wandered the wilderness alone, Primora came to him. He was overjoyed, but as he opened his arm to her, she plunged a dagger in his heart. In his last breath, she cursed him for destroying her life. The end. Wow, what a story. I like it though. But when you play as the with the orc campaign, I thought orcs don't have sex. Like they don't have, they're all males or something like that. And then the whole like, yeah, they have like a whole love story situation going on between the orcs but they're all males, which was interesting. Already read that one. Let's just read. Just keep up and read all of these. I think I've read this. I think I've read this one too, about the purity. Dwarven tradition. Okay, I haven't read this one. Okay, of course it's long. The dwarves of Windfall are an enigmatic people. They are not by nature overly secretive, but their distrust and exclusion of outsiders from their empire leaves much shrouded in mystery. What is known about them comes from a few accounts of traders and travelers permitted beyond their borders. Perhaps the most well-known aspect of dwarven culture is their skill at the forge. Dwarves are the finest smiths in all of EO. The ore from their mines is used to the production of moonsilver steel, the sharpest and most durable steel of the known world. Due to their monopoly of moonsilver steel production and trade, it is likely that the Windfall Empire has more riches than all the other kingdoms of EO combined. Dwarves value tradition and family above all else. A young dwarf is expected to bring honor to their family, whether at the forge or at the battlefield. On the battlefield, the dwarf is also expected to produce heirs to continue the family lineage. Failure to do either of these brings shame upon the individual and their household. Oh shit, better not be gay. It is not a surprise then that strength is highly valued in dwarven society. Physical prowess, often demonstrated in brawls after a night of drinking, is one of the greatest measures of what makes a righteous dwarf. Wit is also appreciated as a strength of mind, but it alone is not enough to win admiration. A dwarf must prove themselves to be physically strong to be worthy of praise. Even less is known about dwarven women. as all dealings with outsiders are done with dwarven men. Few, if any, women have ever been seen. However, the rumor that dwarven women are held as slaves for domestic duties and sexual pleasure by dwarven men is nonsense. Tales of women kept in chains is hearsay. Likely started by jaded traders to capture the imagination of common folk. It is far more likely that dwarven culture is patriarchal, and women are suppressed, taking active role in society. How the society is structured in terms of gender and class is yet a mystery. It's also very possible that women are simply kept out of the view of outsiders, given dwarves' general distrust of outsiders and their intentions. I know there's also, the Mage Wars I haven't read. Did I read about the Shapers? Oh no, I don't remember this. Okay. Mysteries of the Shapers capture many a scholar's imagination. How could a society so advanced in technology and magical ability vanish seemingly oversight, while traces of Shapers' civilization remain? Tantalizing historian with glimpses into this once mighty culture, they provide few answers to their origin and downfall. Shapers were the pinnacle of civilization. They were first and perhaps only culture society upon ancient times to leave a mark upon Io. If any other such civilizations existed, their remnants have yet to be discovered. While civilizations that followed were primitive and relied on simple tools, the Shapers molded the world with their inventions and magic. Yet around 45,000 TB, the Shapers disappeared. All records of their culture end abruptly at this time, like a candle suddenly snuffed out. Many theories exist to explain this. Notably, excavations at a Shaper dig site have uncovered that dragons terrorized the skies as early as 55,000 TB. Did the dragons destroy the Shapers and their entire civilization? Possible, although very few Shaper sites show the type of dragonfire damage expected of mass extermination. Another theory depends upon turmoil within the Shapers themselves. While their society had long prospered from a strict caste system, what records have survived indicate an uprising by the Yulas, the priest caste, near the time of their downfall. Could this internal conflict have rotted them from within? Oh, I would believe that. You can always blame it on religion. Another theory contends that a mysterious disease referred to in one ancient scroll as the Scourge devastated their population. Fire, rebellion, plague, death. The Shapers continued to keep scholars guessing. The end of their society saw marked a loss of technological advancement, pushing back civilizations by thousands of years. Whatever happened to Shapers, their loss is still felt on Io today. That was a good read. Let me just before we continue reading, let me just see. Oh, this is certainly an upgrade. Nice. Oh, it's actually uglier than that. Only Gore can wear that Talisman of Knock, huh? Okay. Oh yeah, because it buffs the creature around the user. Okay, sounds good. For his zombies, that's not an upgrade, and that's not an upgrade. He still doesn't have a weapon. This is very frustrating for me. I want to take him with me, but he doesn't have a weapon. My old man is a bad man, bad. I can't deny the way he holds my hand and he grabs me, has me by my heart. He doesn't matter how a Las Vegas bad. He doesn't matter how a LA crash way about me. They look the same. It's just interesting. He has the best constitution out of everybody right now. Oh no, except for him, but he can't wear these. Oh, it's not even an upgrade. Okay. Give me them gold coins, give me them coins. Well, I'm off to the races, cases, everybody chases, chasing me all over town. There's no ways to face them, time again at Rikers Island, and I won't get out because I'm crazy, baby. Oh, I'll just finish reading everything. Gotta keep up, catch up to our reading here. The Battle of Stone Bay. Okay, this is not too bad. When one thinks of Northander's army, military, one often thinks of the might of her armies rather than her naval forces. Oh, I think I remember reading this. Yeah, I think I read this one. Yeah, I remember the Northander Navy was outnumbered. Yes, I already read this one. Okay. The Mage Wars I haven't. Okay. Well, there's much debate on the tensions and conflicts that contributed to... No, I already read this one too. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, with the queen fighting the dragon and all that, yeah. Okay, so I'm all good now. Already read everything that we have. Oh, poor guy, he's alone up there.
So, this is it, isn't it? Our base of operations?
So it seems.
An ancient Shaper city on a quest to find a cure for the blood burn. And we're working for the purity of light. Sounds crazy if you say it like that. Just some weeks ago, I thought I'd be in Greyfell now, trying to make a fresh start as an innkeep.
Innkeep? You?
Hey, don't laugh. What's wrong with some honest work after years of defiling on the road? Getting up early in the morning, setting the tables, serving mulled wine and stew to tired, weary souls. Just a simple, honest life.
So, you'd leave it all behind? The adventuring?
You know. People always act as if these decisions are final. The only way to find out how much I'd like that kind of life is by taking a chance, isn't it? And if one day I wake up and find myself in need of change, I can still pack up my things and hit the road again. Upsides of Elven blood. There's plenty of time.
Innkeeping is fun, until you find yourself on your knees at dawn, clearing up the puddles of vomit and beer these tired, weary souls left behind when they were done carousing.
Quite the cynic, aren't you?
Oh no, do I have to like really baby her?
For what it's worth, I enjoy your company.
Sure you do. Who else would patch you up after the next monumental battle? Anyway, talk later, shall we? I'm sure you've got battles to prepare.
Oh, do we see the impact of that now? No, these are still locked. So... Okay.
I'll take a look.
Races, cases,
Fine.
chases, but you know I'm wasted facing. I'm gonna write this. I'm gonna get out.
Understood.
I'll take Corporal. Need anything?
What? Who? What? Wait.
Will do.
She doesn't have an exclamation mark. She's still. Oh, okay. She got things to say.
This might sound odd, but why did you join me? It was me the Harbinger wanted.
Why are you asking? If you want me to leave, you can just say it. No hard feelings.
No, I just want to understand. You've been putting yourself in a lot of danger for our cause.
I guess so. Well, I hate to disappoint, but I don't think there's a particular reason. As you pointed out in the prison, I'm a fugitive as much as you are, and my best chance of survival was sticking with you.
Could you tell me a bit more about your homeland? Finn and Mir?
Well, it's not my homeland anymore, but yeah, shoot.
Elves have a very long lifespan. What's it like to live for so long?
Hard to say, since I don't know what a human body feels like. As an elf, you simply take it for granted. When I first realized how short a human life is during my travels, I was baffled. I've been on this world for 39 years now, and in the Elven world, I'm hardly considered an adult. Here, I'd have delivered my 7th child by now. It's strange. That's the best way to describe it. But you know what I eventually came to realize?
Tell me.
That age doesn't necessarily make you wiser. I've talked to 30-year-old humans who understood more of the world than the ancient seers of Finn and Mir. It's all about experiences.
How is human culture different from Elven culture?
I assume you mean Nortander from Finn and Mir? There isn't one Elven culture, as little as there's just the humans. Generally spoken, though, I wouldn't say they're too different. Especially not compared to the orcs. Life is a lot slower, mainly due to our lifespan, and elves are even more defined by tradition than humans. They revere nature and value tradition and rules above all else, and they are extremely aware of what they say, how they say it, and to whom. Which also makes it very easy to offend an elf. I'm an exception in that regard, but that was something my vagrant years taught me. But then again, not all elves are like that. There are some who care as little about Ellen the White Tree and the traditions as a troll cares about his morning toilet.
What role does magic play among elves?
It's everywhere. Magic is considered a gift of Ellen, and it defines your standing in every possible way. We may have talked about that already, but the whole council who runs the country is made up of mages, which is why the Purity will have a hard time finding followers in Finn and Mir, should they ever be naive enough to try.
I doubt that will ever happen. Interesting. There was something else I wanted to ask.
Sure. What?
Goodbye.
Gore doesn't have anything to say.
You got it.
Really?
Okay.
Made yourself comfortable?
Comfortable? Believe me, being comfortable is the last thing on my mind right now. Just look at this place. A Shaper city. Don't you feel it too? This sense of divinity?
You seem to be quite excited to be here.
Why, of course I am. Tahar, I'm not sure if you understand how much this means to me. The forgotten city of Mullendeer, the heritage of the Shapers. Since my childhood days, I've dreamed of this. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, thank you. You and the Harbinger have made this dream come true.
Well, all we did was save you from the orcs. You were the one who found the entrance.
You make it sound as if saving me from those greenskins was an easy feat. It wasn't. Anything else I can help you with? If not, I'd like to take another look at that room the Kane gave us. It's at least as amazing as this place. Tahar, may I help you with something?
I've been meaning to ask you, how does a dwarf end up so far from the Windwall Mountains?
Let's not talk about this now, shall we? Maybe later.
All right, sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No sweat, Tahar. It's fine.
He couldn't deliver on the being a parent thing. Doesn't want to make babies. Is my suspicion.
How does one make a living as an archaeologist?
Good question. One I usually prefer not to think or talk about. To be honest, it's a tough life. For some obscure reason, only very few scholars take interest in the Shaper or the Hibernian culture, even though there is so much to be found. It's a shame.
Like what? What is there to be found?
What? You mean apart from monumental steel constructs, ghost warriors, and a city full of ancient secrets to be discovered? A lot. But that's another topic.
How do you explain that lack of interest?
Well, what do you think? Ignorance. No matter if it's orcs, elves, dwarves, or humans. We're all terribly bad at learning from the past. Blasted, there's so much to be found, so much to be explored. Not just riches, but the technology, wisdom, and ancient secrets. But no, for some reason, the people with the coin just don't care. The only ones who even try to access this treasure are incompetent amateur treasure hunters, who usually get their heads chopped off by the first defense mechanism they walk into.
True. It's a pity.
Well, I suppose that answers your question. The life of an archaeologist is hard, and there have been times where I questioned if all the sacrifices I've made were worth it. Yet, here I am now.
There's something I've been wondering about. How did your cooperation with the Harbinger begin?
Well, that was simple. I was in Everlight at the time, on request of a nobleman. He'd hired me to do some work on an artifact collection of his. One night, a courier contacted me and gave me a letter. The message outlined the mission and the pay, even though the latter was almost irrelevant to me once I realized what it was that Lacane wanted me to find.
Molandir.
Yeah, you know the rest of the story.
What are your thoughts on the Harbinger, Rondar Lacane?
Well, he's my employer. Without him, I wouldn't be on this mission. Or, what do you mean?
I was trying to say, how do you feel about what he stands for? The purity of light, Aeonir's return.
Oh, that. I'm not certain I have an opinion on these matters.
Don't you care who you're working for?
Truth be told, not that much. Making a living as an archaeologist is hard enough as it is. I can't afford to be picky, and in all honesty, aren't Lacane and his fellows just more of the same? There have always been cults who weren't happy with the Guardians and believed they had found the true and only god. There was even that one who believed in a sort of schizophrenic god, who was both the trinity of three different beings and the singular omnipotent god at the same time. However that's supposed to work. Sounds funny when you think about it, but those lads were dead serious.
So you think the purity is harmless?
Of course they are. And like any other fanatic, he and his fellows will go down once people realize his god doesn't have all the answers.
He's been running around killing people. What are you talking about?
So you don't believe in Aeonir's return? In the new world?
No, I don't.
But there's truth to what the purity claims. The Guardians have been unusually silent.
Yeah, because maybe they finally realized how silly and ungrateful most of their creations are and decided not to bother anymore. What I'm trying to say is, there could be all kinds of reasons why they've withdrawn. And I doubt a bonkers robe-wearing lad such as Lacane knows the answer.
Does the Harbinger know you feel that way?
No, I guess not, but he doesn't need to know about that, does he?
Maybe you're right.
I certainly hope so.
Found out anything new about the rune?
Well, so far all I can say is that what Lacane has given you is indeed a Shaper artifact, as we suspected. Now, I would write all this purity talk of the rune being a gift of Aeonir off as religious nonsense if it weren't for the fact that the rune's energy actually interacts with the Godstones, shrines of Aeonir.
Which means that the Shapers and Aeonir are somehow connected.
Somehow, yes. And I'll find out how.
I found some materials. Could you use these to upgrade your armor?
Yeah, wait. What's that? Nehal's hammer. This is amazing. No, more than that. This is phenomenal.
I don't follow. What's so special about this thing?
This thing, as you call it, is part of an artifact. One that the scholars have been writing about for centuries. It might be possible to reconstruct them, and that, I can't even begin to imagine what that would entail.
Goodbye.
Might return to Molinear and talk to Gore in his camp. But I can't talk to Gore.
Yeah, do you need something? I'm a tad busy.
Goodbye. If you insist.
Oh. Different parts of armor and weapons that can be forged into unique equipment at the smithy. Crafting window. I didn't even know this game has crafting. Select recipe for a piece of equipment on the right side. If you have all the required parts in your inventory. Okay. That's pretty simple. Oh, that's really nice. Usable? Oh, you mean usable by a character. Okay. Can't craft none. Races, cases, of the caddy chases, chasing me all over town. Cause you know I'm wasted, facing time again at Rikers Island, and I won't get out because I'm crazy. Big Ore. Oh god, he looks so messed up.
Finally.
My old man is a tough man, but...
Sal Rocker.
Gore, how are you and the Fire Wielders settling in?
All right, I guess. Nonetheless, Tahar, I have to say it. I don't like this place. Not at all.
Why not?
I guess it's the people who once lived here. The Shapers. They were corrupted. And I can feel that corruption even now.
Corrupted?
Yeah. Their customs, their culture. They were completely detached from the order of nature.
How so?
Do you even need to ask? Just look around. Ghost warriors, strange machines, strange buildings. Especially this place, this nexus. They thought they were above everything, even the gods. And they meddled with things they didn't understand. It's disgusting.
Well, they're dead now.
In any case, with our new allies, we should be able to go look for the stones.
fantastic weather.
If you insist.
All right.
Tahar, may I help you with something?
What exactly fascinates you about the Shapers?
Oh, Tahar, that's quite a topic. I don't mind sharing, but are you sure you want to go there?
I am. Tell me.
All right. Well, where do I start? You see, the Shapers have always fascinated me. They're all over Io. These remnants of a once so glorious civilization. Yet for some reason, so many people are almost oblivious to it. On the one hand, of course, that's very sad. On the other hand, it also makes it a lot more exciting. It's like I'm a treasure hunter, only that everyone else fails to see the treasures around us. Tell me, Tahar, when seeing all of this, don't you sometimes feel like you're exploring a childhood dream? The kind of world the poets and the bards always spoke of?
The Shapers are dangerous. Just think of that Steel Guardian we fought to get in, or the Ghost Watchers. Not what I'd call a childhood dream.
Yeah, but it doesn't take away from the wonderment, does it? But this childish fascination was only the spark. The more I studied the Shapers, the more enthralled I became with their culture. Did you know that at the pinnacle of their existence, they ruled over all of Io? A global empire with no one to oppose them.
You seem to consider that a good thing.
Oh, good, bad, the world doesn't work like that. Of course, there are writings that hint at the fact that the Shaper Empire wasn't all rainbows and unicorns, but still it was stable. And it persisted for tens of thousands of years. Can you imagine? All this knowledge, all this art, all this wisdom. Nothing in the Io of today can match that. Nothing. It's like comparing a sea full of secrets with a puddle of muddy water.
How do you know all this?
Some of it from writings, some of it's just connecting the dots. I know how many scholars are out there at the universities giving their talks about the inscrutable empire, but it's not nearly as inscrutable as they say. Their problem is they're trying to understand the Shapers by reading books and dusty tablets. That's not how it works. You need to get out there, into the field. And even if it takes years of fruitless digging, eventually you're bound to stumble onto something. Another piece of the mosaic.
Very poetic.
Because it is.
So why is it showing right here? Like I can place this here? No? It's really odd.
My father always told me the Shaper Empire relied a lot on slaves.
What? No, that's rubbish. The Shapers had castes, yes, and it's probably the lower caste your father was referring to. But to call these slaves is like calling, say, a tanner who was born outside a royal family a slave, just because he'll never be a king. And even the very lowest caste, the Zalanir, always had enough to eat, a roof over their heads, and could, without paying a single coin, get themselves healed by a cleric if they needed to. So if you think that's unjust, go ahead. Ask an ever-light beggar which era he'd rather live in. He's not a slave, yes, but in some ways he's worse off.
And how exactly did their empire come to be? They must have conquered quite a few nations.
They had the liberty of being the first living civilization on our EO, at least as far as we know. That made it easier to maintain peace and stability. Until the end, and dragons.
And yet, they died out.
Yeah. Great mystery.
Most scholars think it was the dragons.
They do, but I doubt it. You saw what the Shapers were capable of. Even a race as powerful as the dragons couldn't have wiped them out. And you see the shape the city is in, Tahar. There's no traces of fire and destruction, but regardless of what it was, it doesn't change the fact that the way the current races of this world treat the Shapers is nothing short of pathetic. They were greater than we'll ever be, but instead of studying this greatness, we ignore them. And why? Just because it doesn't fit into our religion, our traditions, or whatever reason they can come up with. Because to many, admitting what a marvel the Shapers truly were would mean admitting that our culture is pale in comparison.
Is our world really that bad?
It depends on your expectations. We could do worse, certainly, but if this is as good as we can get, then I have nothing to feel but pity.
No offense, but to me it sounds as though you're idealizing it. The Shaper world wasn't what you think it was.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. In any case, I suppose you found your answer, haven't you? This is what fascinates me about the Shapers. They're a reminder of what we could be, if only we wanted to.
I see. Well, thanks for the explanation, Iskrim. I appreciate it.
Yes? Alright, why not?
I'll take a look.
All right, let's get to the chase. We need to discuss where and how we start our search. You're all familiar with the objective?
Find the Forge Stones, reignite the Nexus, decipher the song with it, and put an end to the blood burn.
That's about it. Area thinks that someone removed the Nexus stones shortly before the city was abandoned, but they left markers on the stone map. And now that we have a small army backing us up, we can start searching. Iskrim?
Yeah, we suspect one of the stones to be in the desert of Aenir's Blade, probably in the possession of the Iron Falcons, whereas the other one is on an unknown island.
An unknown island?
Correct. And yes, the oceans might have long taken it, which is why the only way to find out is to build a ship. And to...
Hold on. In the northwest? The Black Sea?
I think so.
Zarek's fangs. That's interesting. There's an old orc myth of such an island, and as far as I know, there was even a human archaeologist in Everlight who said he had found it. A traveler told me.
Did he find it?
Long story, but it's a trail we could follow. Building a ship would take months. If we go to Everlight, I can tell you more.
Well, it does sound promising.
And intriguing. So, where do we go first, Tahar? Everlight or Aenir's Blade?
I'll think about it and let you know when we head out. For now, just get prepared.
Will do, Corporal.
Zarek guides me.
Corporal? Need anything?
Tell me a bit about your time on the road. What was it like?
Is that a command, Corporal?
Please?
All right. but I'm afraid there isn't so much to tell. Have you ever been on the road by yourself?
A long time ago, yes.
Well, then you know how wearisome it can get. Sleeping under the stars sounds romantic at first, until you realize that most of the time it's sleeping in the mud in drizzle. Most of the time, your stomach and your purse are empty, and your feet are full of blisters. And, of course, there's the constant danger, especially if you're traveling on your own.
Did you ever have a companion?
Some, yeah, but most of it was just temporary. Though there was one I traveled with for longer. Quentin.
How did you meet?
Coincidence. A small town between Finn and Mir and Lar. We played dice together and he cheated. When I called him out on it, he tried to turn tail. But one of the other guests stopped him for me. They wanted to go give him a beating, but I told them to stop. He gave me back my money and we started talking. And, believe it or not, we found that we got along quite well.
So you started traveling together? With a thief?
I wouldn't call him that. He was just young and careless. We ended up traveling for almost a year.
I see. What was your relationship?
You mean... no, we were just friends. He was way too young for my liking, and I think I was too old for him. We were more like sister and brother.
What was his story? Where was he headed?
Into the blue, same as me. He had quite an interesting task, but I wouldn't feel comfortable sharing it with you, to be honest. He wouldn't want that.
Huh. So, how did you split up? What happened?
Nothing dramatic. We came by a village and decided to rest there for a while. The roads had become quite dangerous due to the mage wars, and we didn't want to go out unprepared. I did some healing for the villagers, and he helped out the local smith. He liked it, and the smith wanted him as an apprentice, so he stayed. I was surprised and a bit hurt at first, but then I realized it was probably for the better. I still think of him sometimes, though.
Huh. And how did you make a living?
That was the easiest part. I healed people.
With light magic?
Yes and no. It was my magic that mended the wounds, but since mages are often met with suspicion, how shall I say, got a little creative. Frankly put, whenever I treated someone, I gave him a magical potion to drink, which was just water mixed with some harmless herb to give it color. The rest was laying on hands to help the potion's effect, which was pure light magic and how I did the actual healing.
And that worked?
Better than you'd think. People were fighting over my panacea as if I was Ellen incarnate, while cursing the evil defilers who had caused this war. Ironic, isn't it?
Do you miss it sometimes? The vagabond life?
Well, we're still vagabonds somehow, aren't we? But I know what you mean. And yeah, I sometimes do. The wind on my skin, the vastness of the wildlands, and the fact that all you have to think about is the mile ahead of you. It's another world. There was this one night I'll never forget. I had made a camp at a clearing, set up campfire, and I was leaning against a tree, slowly drifting toward sleep. Then, all of a sudden, it started to rain. Not just the usual drizzle, it was bucketing down, drowning everything, the earth, the noise, the plants around me. My first impulse was to jump up, to find shelter, get my things into the dry. But I didn't. Instead, I saw. I don't know how else to put it. All of a sudden, there was this deep sense of peace, as if all my life I had been chasing something without knowing it myself. And in that moment had found it. So I just watched. I sat there and I watched. That feeling lasted until the sun came up. And then I fell asleep. When I woke up, it was gone.
That sounds beautiful.
And a bit dramatic. But, yeah, it was beautiful. I've never felt something like that again.
And what do you make of it now?
Truth be told, I don't know. But it changed something. Even though I cannot say what it is. Corporal? Need anything?
Goodbye.
There you are again. Gore's new friend. I truly hope he knows what he's doing. Orcs following the orders of a pale skin. That hasn't happened before. But, to be fair, you've given me little reason to distrust you. You did great in that battle against Krell.
Thank you. So you're the commander of the Fire Wielders?
Chieftain. And I serve Gore, our High Chieftain, who follows your advice. In other words, I'm the third down the list. Mainly, I'm here to make sure our warriors stay in shape and are well equipped. And if you're willing to invest some coin, I might even come up with a way to permanently increase their strength.
Can you tell me more about the Fire Wielders? About your traditions?
Well, since Gore is now our High Chieftain, he's the one you should talk to. But I'll do my best.
How did the Bloodburn affect the orcs?
It still does. For some reason, not as often as in human lands. But nonetheless, and when it hit, it did so with full force. There were 2 outbreaks among the Fire Wielders, and every time, the affected died within a couple of days. The K-Rand clan was hit the hardest.
Interesting. I wonder why the races react so differently.
Well, I'm a warrior, not a shaman or an elder. You'll have to find out yourself.
The Mage Wars. How did they affect the orcs?
Hardly. Some tribes, like the Fleshkins and the Ash Reavers, used the chance to invade your lands. As you've noticed in that Iskander village, Farland's Hope. Apart from that, we just stood out of it. Though, of course, we had our own sack of problems to deal with, such as idiots like Krell.
We should be fighting now.
Let's discuss something else. There was something I wanted to ask about what happened in Barker Gore. You asked us to bring you the K-Rand's champion's head because he did something to your sister. What exactly happened?
Sorry, Tahar, but that's none of your business.
I want to train the Fire Wielders.
All right. Here's what we can do.
pick those up and they're not even tradable. It's crazy. Should I be selling this? Yeah, interesting.
What?
Zalraka, what do you need?
I want to trade the firewood.
All right. Here's what we can do.
Good thing is here he keeps them. I don't know for how long, but let me just check out something here real quick. Okay, so I can sell this.
Zalraka, what do you need?
I want to trade the firewood.
All right. Here's what we can do.
How do I get rid of these? Ooh. Fancy. He can't even, oh god, what is it that he can wield? He doesn't have any decks. There's something that, everything requires, well, strength or dex. Strength, he doesn't have strength. I guess if we increase his intelligence, he can wield a wand. But I want him to be in the front line too. So we need to increase his strength.
So, this is it? Your fabled fortress?
You don't sound...
It'll do. All I need is a good forge. My ingenious mind will do the rest. Though these orcish smiths you've employed so far certainly don't deserve their title.
What do you mean?
Because they are amateurs, and that's putting it lightly. Just give me some coin for material and send them my way. Then I can teach them what a true orcish axe or armor should look like.
Yeah, do you need something? I'm a tad busy.
That armor you're wearing looks quite special.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's from Wingwall. I forged it myself. Why do you ask?
Well, our smiths might be able to forge you a better one. It looks quite worn.
What? No. No, that's not gonna happen.
Why not?
It means something to me. But if it's my protection you're worried about, I can do some work on it myself. You'd have to cover the expenses, though. I'm a bit short on material these days.
Fair enough. I'll let you know if I have some resources to spare. Goodbye.
is.
With Aelok Iskander executed for allying with your father during the Mage Wars, the Iskander lands have since fallen into anarchy. On your journey, you've met many travelers, sunken-cheeked figures who told you stories about having lost their homes to bannerless soldiers and
Hold on a moment. Do you see that?
Yeah, fresh trails, and a lot of them. An army went through here not long ago. We should head northeast first. I have a surprise for you.
What kind of surprise?
You'll see.
Well, let's be on our guard.
What do you want?
Fine. If your life depends on it. Intriguing.
That guy's still alive.
What is it?
Oh, he doesn't care anymore.
Fine.
Or you can't even use it when it's in on this bar. I hate this game sometimes.
Understood. Blazes. Northanger soldiers.
Must be your general's men. They have followed our trail.
That was faster than expected.
If you insist.
Time to turn back, traveler. This area is off limits.
What's the meaning of this? Why are these men captured?
They have betrayed the royal army and are now going to be punished for it.
Wait, I think I know these men. These are militia soldiers.
Are they? And how exactly would you know that?
Tahar, don't. We should scout the area first.
On second thought, I think we're at the wrong village. We'll be off.
Huh. Well then.
Got it.
Sure.
Salraka, brother. Good to see you made it.
Hi, Chieftain Gore. We're ready to strike at will.
They're here on your orders?
Yes. I thought it might be wise to have an outpost next to Mullendeer.
And you didn't deem it necessary to fill us in.
Good thinking.
Now enough of the chatter. What's your plan, Tahar?
We need all the forces we can muster. Send us some of your warriors.
Understood. Sounds good.
They both look the same, that's funny.
This way, right?
Sorry, friends. This place is off limits. Move along.
You people are new to Farland's Hope, aren't you? What is this place?
Well, friend, if you have to ask, it sure as heck isn't any of your business.
Is Clara here? We are searching for her.
You know her?
Don't. We should scout the area first.
We don't have any business. I've heard about her, that's all. Now, if you don't mind, I'll be off.
I don't. Move along.
Blasted armor.
Hold it right there. What's your business?
I could ask you the same thing. What is the Royal Army doing in this place?
None of your concern.
We are supposed to meet someone in Farland's Hope.
Well, bad luck then. This area is off limits. Now sod off.
We're supposed to meet the mayor of this town, Clara Farland. Where is she?
Clara Farland. What do you want from her?
Tahar, don't. We should scout the area first.
Well, we heard quite some stories about her and wanted to finally meet her in person.
Of course. Now sod off.
That's the way.
What do you want?
Finally.
Huh?
What do you want?
Now would you look at that? Fine.
Fine.
Really? Move along. There's nothing for you people to see here.
Look at that, boys. We're in for some fun.
Interesting.
Let's burn them.
More fighting. They will never end.
Whatever necessary.
Fine. I'll keep you shielded.
Finally.
Zared guides me.
You read my mind.
Let's see.
Wrong place, wrong time, friend.
Oh, what?
What?
danger up ahead.
Child.
There's somebody else.
Fine. This way, right?
Will do. Really?
That's unexpected. Now, finish it.
With pleasure. Scum.
We could have questioned him.
Waste of time. Let's move. Good move. I'll take a look.
Let's see. Finally.
Hey, Bobby. You beat Pokemon? Congrats. Yeah, I was playing it yesterday.
Understood.
I just beat the
Now we should break
the
that.
third gym yesterday.
Really?
Slowly but surely.
Blasted armor.
Interesting.
Fine. I'll take a look.
There's a guy up here. I hope you can find in yourself to forgive what I'm about to do. You're a strong woman and you will be fine after I'm gone. Don't be guilty for the relief you will undoubtedly feel when I'm no longer a burden. I really tried for your sake. I tried to leave the mage wars in the past. Every night I'm revisited by the same hauntings, a puppet stuck in a horror show. I see children engulfed by mage flames. I see mages, some no older than you, in their last moments before I kill them. I have done terrible things, things you could not have imagined. At the time they were necessary, but now they are right. to haunt me. The crown does not even acknowledge the damage war does to a man. They expect us to march off willingly to fight their battles. Kill this mage today, kill your neighbor tomorrow. Why? Because of a squabble some lord has with another that we have no part of or say in. This world would be better off without me. I'm too broken. I'm a burden to you. A pity to others and an insufferable enemy to the families of those I killed. They are right to hate me. By the Guardians, it feels so good to write this down. Live well, my love, and do not spare me a thought. Know that I am at peace at last. I am free. Papa! He hanged himself where? I mean, okay, so we're all done here, I guess.
Zarin guides me.
So where do we go?
Sure, fine. Got it.
Maybe we should kill these guys here first.
If you insist.
I don't know.
Let's see.
You again? What do you want?
What's the question mark here? Should I kill these guys first?
Yes?
What do you want? By the Guardians! Over here!
Fine. Well, that fight was heard all the way to Molendir. Now they know we're here.
Oh, really?
Tiara's breath. You're...
Tahar, yes. Are you alright?
Is that... Oh, I was
Mostly.
supposed to talk to those guys?
These bastards just showed up here and took over.
Hold on. I didn't even see him. That's crazy.
With Aelok Iskander executed for allying with your father during the Mage Wars, the Iskander lands have since fallen into anarchy.
Okay, can I even see him? No. So, why is there a question mark over here? That's what I want to know. I mean, we've investigated everywhere, right? Maybe not up here. Okay, I'll just go back up here and, I don't know, find Clara. I don't know where Clara is. Maybe she's at the door to Molendir. You never know. So before we attack these motherfuckers, let's just see if she's up here.
Will do.
No, she's not there.
Understood.
Maybe she's here.
Alright, why not?
What is that? Two-handed. Okay, so I have all the grindstone.
This way, right?
I don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
Blasted armor.
We were already here. I guess we'll kill the these guys again.
This way, right?
Really? Now would you look at that?
What do you want? Find it, Guardians! Over here!
Well, that fight was heard all the way to Molendir. Now they know.
Wait, who are these guys? They got separated? How? Oh, they were still fighting something.
Fine.
Tiara's breath. You're...
Tahar, yes. Are you alright?
Aye. Mostly. These bastards just showed up here and took over. It was crazy. They even got the mayor.
Where did they take her? Any idea?
Old Audrey said they took her to the old war camp to the southeast. But there's no way of knowing for sure. I say we go and find out. You have our blades. Are you injured?
Sure. Fine.
What the? Help me, someone!
Oh, really?
They will fall.
You want to die? Oh, let's just kill these guys.
You break my mind.
They got fucked.
Finally.
Oh, is that where she is? Okay. Ooh. Nope. Of course, he can't wear it. He can't wear anything. Empowered at 90%. At what? Oh, when you're above 90%, what's empowered? It might be a good one to wear. I guess you just deal more damage, I take it, so...
Huh?
Blazes. I had a feeling that was you. You know how to make an entrance, dear.
Are you okay? Did they hurt you?
Nothing I can't handle. I thought you'd come back, but I wasn't sure. Yet here you are. Once again, you make enemies to help an old crone in need.
Glad to be of service.
Now, what in blazes happened here? Why did the Royal Army attack your village?
Can't you guess?
They followed us.
Yes, General Noria himself. He just came here, hand on the hilt of his sword, and swore to kill us all if we didn't tell him where you went.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have put your village at risk.
Don't say that. If it weren't for you, those orcs would have slaughtered us. Interesting to see you've made friends with them, by the way.
I'm a fire wielder. They were ash reavers.
Good to know. You should have seen the look on his face when I told him you weren't here anymore. It would have been funny if he hadn't started beating up our guards afterwards. Killing them.
Do you think he knows about Mullendir? Even if you didn't tell him, one of the villagers might have.
I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. Apart from me, nobody knows what you were here for.
And where is he now?
Gone. After he realized he wouldn't find you here, he rode off like he had a fireball roaring up his buttocks. I think he may have gone east, to Bargagor, but I'm not sure. Either way, remember when I told you that I might need your help again? I didn't think it would be so early, but turns out I was wrong.
We want to help you, but we're also in need of allies. Last time we were here, you said something about influential friends?
Yes, and that offer still stands. If you help us, I might be able to acquaint you with someone who could help you in your search against the Bloodburn.
All right. What do you need?
It's simple. For a while now, we've been planning to abandon the village and go to Everlight. After what General Noria has done, there's no point in waiting any longer. We need to leave now.
Everlight? That's a long journey.
Yes, and a dangerous one. Which is why we need an escort. Gilbert and I had already started preparing the carriages, but then the soldiers came. So I need you to free the villagers for me. Just tell them to come to the clearing in the east. Once they're all there, we'll leave as quick as possible.
Why did General Noria order to hold the villagers captive anyway? I don't understand.
I wouldn't know. Maybe he had plans to interrogate them further if he didn't find you.
All right then, stay put. I'll free the villagers and tell them to come to the clearing.
Huh? Please, I need you to free the villagers. They won't make it here without your help.
I'm on it.
Corporal?
What's the use of having the A's if we're not even gonna use them? Yep, it's full.
Well, that's the way. Alright, why not? Huh. Intriguing.
Whatever's necessary.
Find the Guardians! Over here!
Thank you. I had a feeling you'd come back. We need to find the mayor.
She's safe. We're here to free the villagers and get them to the caravan.
Ah, yes. Everlight. Good then. Lead the way. You'll need an extra set of blades.
Yes.
Good move.
Really?
You read my mind.
Blasted armor.
What the? Over here! Help! Somebody!
Fine.
This way, right? Does this never end?
Where do you think you're going?
Let's see.
you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. For a moment, I thought that was it. You're that corporal, aren't you? The one who helped the militia drive back the orcs.
Yes, I already freed the mayor, and she's preparing the caravan for an escape to Everlight. Think you can help us free the villagers?
Aye, we can and we will. Lead the way, Corporal. And thank you again for saving us.
Huh?
Fine. If your life depends on it.
That's the way.
How do we even get there? Wow, really?
Sure.
Soldiers everywhere. I don't get it. Why invade Farland's home? Why didn't they move on?
Maybe they were expecting you to come back. Let's be careful not to alarm the whole camp, Tahar. We can't take on the entire army by ourselves. I'll keep you shielded.
Fine.
Let's burn them.
Understood.
Fine. More fighting. Does this never end?
Will do.
What the? Over here! Help! Somebody!
They will fall, pathetic.
You'll regret this.
Got it. Whatever's necessary.
Is this really necessary?
Yes, it's very necessary.
Blazes. It's you! Corporal Tahar!
Yes. Are you alright?
Aye. Just some scratches. Do you know where the mayor is? Is she safe?
Yes, she's safe from preparing the caravan for an escape to Everlight. She asked us to free the villagers and get them to safety.
Well, in that case, you have our support. Men, onwards. Let's show those soldiers what it means to take on the militia.
Come on.
Blasted armor.
Really?
Over there, villagers. We should tell them about Clara's plan.
You!
Yes, are you okay? Did they hurt you?
No, just threats.
Good. Go to the east. Clara is waiting there. She'll take you to Everlight.
Everlight? But what about our houses? Our belongings?
Grab what you can carry and then go. The soldiers could be back any second. I think that was all of them. Let's get back to Clara.
We just need to notify one and then the rest of them actually just... That's good. There's so many.
Will do.
Finally.
Understood.
Who?
There they are.
Huh? Please, I need you to free the villagers. They
Wait.
won't make it here without your help.
I'm on it.
You're blind?
The last passenger has arrived. Good work, dear. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
I'm trying. Is everything ready?
Yes, and we'll leave at once. Though we should stay on our guards. Chances are the Royal Army isn't done with us yet. So, are you ready?
Give me one more second.
Fine, but hurry. Ready?
Yes, let's head out.
Alright, people. We're going. Try to be as quiet as possible and stay together. Once we're out of the village outskirts, it'll be easier. Questions? No? Good. Then get moving.
Zarek guides me.
Blazes! Soldiers up ahead! Do something, Tahar! Stop them! Good work. Why in blazes are they so vicious? We're just farmers, for heck's sake.
Probably General Norio wants to set an example. Whoever betrays the crown pays the blood price. That's the way.
Good move.
More of them! Let's push on.
Alright, why not?
Another ambush! To arms! Almost made it. Stay strong.
There it guides me.
This way, right?
That's it. The border. It should be easier from here on out.
Good. How far is it to Everlight from here?
A 2-week journey at least. In other words, prepare for a long march.
All right. We'll catch up with you as soon as possible.
I'll take a look.
Yes? Interesting.
Once famous for their golden wheat fields and forests rich in game, the lands now known as the Iskander Wilds were once the property of House Vastal, a minor house loyal to House Iskander. In 8340...
All right. Everyone stop. We're making camp. Tahar, a word, if you please.
Why did we stop?
Because there's danger up ahead. Do you recognize this area?
Should I?
Count Vastal's former territory. A lifelong Iskander loyalist who fell victim to the Red Fever 80 years ago. This is where the Mage Wars began.
Tiara's breath. Of course. This is where Sentenza saved me from my father.
Is it? Wow, I didn't know that. What it also is a battlefield. It's the main reason I was so hesitant to make the journey at first. Briefly put, this is where the remaining Iskander loyalists are making their last stand. As you probably know, House Iskander was allied to your father during the Mage Wars. The Royal Army has been trying to finish them off since the end of the war now, but they know how to use these lands to their advantage. And as if that weren't enough, there's a lot of refugees trying to get into the Utran lands, and the Purity of Light.
How much farther is it to Everlight from here?
That's the good news. A day's journey, at most. If we make it through here, the rest will be a piece of cake.
How strong is Nortander in this area? And where is their camp?
As far as I know, it's just a small division. And my scout told me they'd made camp in an abandoned ruin west of here.
So these loyalists are still fighting for my father?
For House Iskander, but yes. It's foolish, and they know they can't win, but at the same time, they know that the Lord Marshal won't show mercy if they surrender.
How will they react to us?
That's the big question.
Where do these refugees come from?
Dear, I wouldn't know. From everywhere, I suppose. Just ask them yourself.
So, what do you need me to do?
2 things. First of all, we need some medicine. One of the men, Ralph, has been having terrible stomach cramps lately, and he can't keep going like that. A sheaf of fire nettle should do the trick. Secondly, you need to secure a path.
Secure a path? You want us to take on the Nortander soldiers here?
Not necessarily. Those Nortander soldiers have done little else than fight the Loyalists for the past months, maybe years, so chances are good that they don't know General Noria is looking for us yet. The same goes for the Iskander. They have no reason to fight us, but in times of war, you never know. It's your job to find out, to make sure we can cross these lands without harm.
What does this fire nettle look like? Where does it grow?
The plant's usually about 3 inches tall and has bright orange leaves. It shouldn't be hard to miss. And we'll keep our eyes open, too.
Got it. That sick man, the one with the stomach cramps, can't we use magic to cure him?
If push comes to shove, yes, but I'd rather not. You know how the common folk thinks about magic these days. They're scared enough as it is.
You're asking for a lot. I've already saved you and your people.
I know, dear. I know. But trust me. I'll keep my end of the bargain once we get to Everlight. Best you start by scouting the area. I'll have a chat with my people in the meantime. They are still on edge.
Yes?